Welcome once again to Talking Horses down here at Maidan Hotel with Mark Monkhouse from www.comracinguae.com and myself, Justin Byrne, EERC Racing Syndicate. I don't know what to say about the racing this week. There's only one meeting. I thought it would be better standard, to be honest.
First race is good. It's got a nice field of 15, isn't it? And it's that's been well supported, and it happens to be probably one of the lower handicaps, but I'm saying that it's been supported where you're probably right about the other races and not so much supported apart from the maiden.
Well, the thing is, I mean, we're still 6 weeks away from the carnival. So when you ride races at a carnival standard, you're going to get a few horses that aren't quite ready to come out yet, I would suggest. And if you'd have thrown another race on for, the sort of 55 to 80s, you'd have probably got a better... Let's say you had the maiden, the first race, and one other at that standard, and then, do you know what I mean? I mean, you've got some races here. You've got a race 2 is 85 to 105.7, and then you've got race 4, which is basically for horses 80 to 100 over a mile, pretty similar, except horses rated 80 to 100 that haven't won the race. We'll get into that when we get there. Race number 1. Let's start with race number 1. As you said, full field of 15, or nearly a full field of 15. Some nice horses in here. Who do you fancy?
I really was scratching my head, to be honest with you. I've gone for number 1 actually, Dohassa with Ahmed Al Sabouzi on top, taking 4.5 kilos off a horse. Yeah. And he ran second to Encipher, although Encipher was very clear. He did beat the rest on that day. I just think with Ahmed in the plate, 55 and a half, and he's not a bad jockey actually. He won a couple of races this summer in the UK, did Ahmed, and I know him very well. And I think if he can get the horse going like he did last time with Tag O'Shea on there, he just got a sneaky chance. But it's well open race.
Well, I nearly phoned Tig and asked him for his opinion, because if you go for the race, if you actually look at all the horses in there, Tig probably knows most of them. Obviously, he was on the Hassa last time, finished second. You go towards the bottom of the handicap, he was on first night and finished third. Yep. He obviously knows number 7, right in the middle, Janice, because he's on him. Or her, I should say, if I remember correctly. I agree with you, very tricky race. The form lines... Let's start with the top of the handicap. You've got some nice horses there. Dohassa, 4.5 kilos, massive amount to get off, especially on a straight 7. So, and Dohassa, you've got to look back. A year ago was rated in the high 90s, low hundreds.
Yeah, low hundreds.
Yeah, so it obviously cleared out of form. But let's put a negative in. He's 8 years old. Sure. He's clearly going backwards. And you have to say he's going backwards if you look at his form. Yeah. In a big field, and he's a 4.5 kilo jockey for a reason. Yeah. And he rode for me, so I do know him. He rode I Got You, Babe.
So you could have run him in the next race. And he didn't, and went off a low weight.
Off a low weight.
I wonder, in the same trip. So I was just wondering if he's with the claimer on. He's just thinking, not a bad weight to carry in something. It's a difficult race.
I said a negative for me on Ahmed is, I think he's a decent jockey. He's learning his trade. Yeah. He rode I Got You, Babe for me last year, around this time actually. And the one thing I said after the race is, he got a little bit nervous when he got crowded.
Yeah.
And he's in a 15-runner field.
What I noticed about him in the UK, just to hear, he's a different jockey now.
Yeah. Experience.
He's been experienced. He's been learning the best way. He's been round some good yards, and I think it's great that he's got a ride here, and I'd love to see him win, of course. And you've got to look at this, what's going on here. A lot of races are being won by claimers.
Yeah, I know. And I'm normally second with that claimer. So anyway, we'll carry on with the field. Funyan just got beat by Mafgul at Abu Dhabi. On that form, you'd have to like him.
Yeah.
However, his JEBEL Ali form isn't quite as good.
Not too bad, but not good.
It's not as good, so you'd have to worry about his JEBEL Ali form. Plus, he's gone up £3 for that short head second. Tagseed, JEBEL Ali form isn't great at all. Plus, he's the second choice of the stable if you're going to follow Danes. Follow him.
His win at Sharjah suggests that's where he likes best.
The next horse, number 4, number 5, You know, number 6, yeah. If just going through the form, you know, if you purely looked at the form, number 7 interests me. Thistle Bloodstock, Tiger O'Shea, T. Seymour. You'd expect the horse to be ready. We obviously do not know if it will handle the dirt.
No.
It's never run on the dirt, never run on the all weather. It's
It'll get the triple right. It's
lifetime
over 1700,
form.
isn't it?
8 lifetime form over this distance. He's had 5 races over this distance, and he's been first, second, and third twice. So, you shouldn't worry about that. Has had a lot of runs for a 3-year-old baby. You know, 14 runs there, but the last 2 runs are clearly good.
Yeah.
However, 82 is a lot higher than it was running in the UK a while back.
Yeah, £8 isn't it?
Yeah. Well, it's actually, if you go back to, you know, 5 races ago, it was running off 69, so it's up £13. And I think if Tig had the choice, he'd have gone for first night.
Yeah.
So I'm not entirely convinced there.
No.
8, 9, you know, form's not great. Have they run it here yet before? No. Touch Gold's an interesting one. His second last year behind Isagay Falls doesn't look too bad. Again, you'd expect Tig to know a little bit about this.
Yeah.
So that's why we should have phoned Tig. We should have Tig sitting here. Here, Tig, you can give me a response. Druba's horses, it was 3 lengths behind first night. I expected to come on for that. Although it's his second run of the season, the third run is probably when Druba's are going to hit top rate. So
And he's got Claimer on again.
Claimer on again,
Yeah.
so that's got a chance. Final Recovery's come down £3. Love a jockey booking because you're going to have a low weight. Harry Bentley's a great jockey to have on
He is,
board.
yeah.
And also say he was a couple of weeks behind the rest of the horses in the yard, so these extra 2 weeks he's been bouncing. He could be a big danger.
Yeah, he didn't run too bad actually. I was quite pleased with his run.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
Africa, I actually wanted to book a claimer for him if I couldn't get Harry, so
Yeah.
to do the same logic. Africanus, sorry, I can't talk sensibly about. First night, we're going to try and do the same as we did last time. Try and lead. You know, I wanted to do it the first week.
Yeah.
Richie was told by others it's not the best way to ride him. Came in and said, no, that's the best way to ride him. Fair credit to
No, it
Richie on
suited
that.
him, didn't
It worked for him. He stuck his neck out. He battled. He looked beat a furlong out. If you were betting him running, you'd have backed Brave and Yumnanta. So
I would say that it was possibly a good opponent to come up against.
yeah, somebody who hasn't won. So there's a few interesting horses there. Tig would tell us who he'd back, but he's not here, so I'll go for your judgment.
Number 1, Dohassa.
Okay, I'm going to go to the other end. I'm going to stick with First Night, number 14. That's race number 1. I'm going for my own horse. Mark is going for Dahasa.